Welcome in, everybody, to this week's Five Aside, the show where we discuss five things aside from the most recent Five Stripes match, even though tonight we may touch on a few points from yesterday's final, not so friendly, against Dallas. My name is Glenn Faison, and joining me tonight is a woman that sometimes she knows it takes balls to score a goal. It is Kristen Clark. Hi, Kristen. How are you?
What do you mean? Oh, I have balls. They're just prettier and they hang higher.
I'm talking about Liverpool, man. They Pulisic it in. We've talked about this, and you still don't get my jokes. Oh, my goodness. I try so hard. Also joining me tonight, a woman who is used to waiting, whether it's to get off a plane or for her team to eventually win a trophy, which you are still in the running for, still in Europa League. It could happen. It won't happen. It's Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Hey, you know what we did win today? We won a bet. And I don't have to drink crappy whiskey and sing horrible songs. So
as my therapist is reminding me, take the W's where they come.
Absolutely.
Just be happy for them. Just be happy when you can be happy. And if y'all are not watching the video feed, then you will not know that we got the boys from Mixtape joining us also tonight. So let's kick it over to them and they can introduce themselves.
What's going on, y'all? We are the Mixtape 615, and as you know, we are the voice of the fans. Who are the fans? You, except this is probably going to be mostly Five Stripes fans. So we are the voice of the Nashville SC fans. I'm your boy, Tunji, a.k.a. We got a bunch of nicknames. Hang on. The Young Turtle, Lee Soccer Face, SF Doom, the Big Kahuna Munch on the Little Tune Sam's, DR Kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi, Yamame Por Favor, a.k.a. Mr. Consider Mai Tais on this beach. Oh, I forgot the rest of
Belize.
it. Want to know why? You want to know why? Because I'm not in Belize right now. I'm at home in Nashville, the music city, the beautiful music city, and I got some friends with me. Austin, tell them who you are.
What's up, guys? My name is Austin, a.k.a. Wild Mane, a.k.a. Ginger Snap. Don't cross this ginger because he may snap. A.k.a. the Fumbling Dublin, a.k.a. Chicky Chicky Parm Parm, a.k.a. Redbeard, the dopest pirate in all the seven seas. Logan, tell them who you are.
All right, guys. Y'all know who it is. It's Logan, a.k.a. Beer Main, a.k.a. Lucky Logan, a.k.a. Manga Main. And we are the boys from Mixtape 615 podcast, which is brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, in all of soccer, in all the world. We just got to throw it out there. Come on, guys.
Is this fighting words?
I'm not challenging it.
We the dopest.
You know, the dope had to come from somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. It's traffic across state lines.
Yeah. Is there a source? Well, is there a source to this that we need to?
We are geographically more southern than you, so the idea is that it would come up from.
It emanates from.
It's a flood. Flood is where the waters rise.
You guys can keep your dirty south. We'll go with clean, sophisticated southern gentlemen.
Low-key, I love of all the rivalries, like this one is and we've talked about this on a couple episodes on our pod, the funnest because Orlando and Charlotte just wants to be little brother, and I feel like what we've got here is like it's genuine, it's friendly. We always have a good time anytime we come up to Nashville. I hope you all have a good time anytime you come down to Atlanta.
With the exception of trying to bring drums in, yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
It happens, bro.
But, for our two clubs, like, the rivalry is real. It means something. The belt means something to each of us. We take a lot of pride in that. So we really appreciate you guys coming on. We love having you anytime. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I feel like we need more nicknames. Like, I feel like I feel like very inadequate in my nicknameage here.
Yes,
it's okay. You'll grow into them.
So tonight, we wanted to talk about 5 things since the season's about to kick off next week, which is crazy to say that is already here. 5 things for each of our respective clubs that we are hyped about, looking forward to, happy for, and maybe 5 things that we're still a little on edge about and not so sure of.
I feel like that's not a fair question to our friends at Mixtape because I think they have a lot more things to be on edge about than we do going into the season.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not in Nashville. Maybe
didn't y'all sell your entire club last year?
Yes, we did. But
well, I'll kick it over to you guys, Logan, or whoever wants to take it. You want to start off with the good or the bad?
Tunji, why don't you start us off, man?
I was gonna give it to you.
Look at that. No, Tunji, then Austin. I'll clean this up.
All right.
We're not this cordial on our podcast, but we'll be cordial on yours.
We're in front of guests here. We're in your house. Okay. All right. Something positive for Nashville SC. I'm gonna start with the big thing that if you guys don't know, Atlanta United fans, my friends over at 5 Takes on 5 Stripes, I need you to know this right now. This midfield, you don't know who they are. You've never seen them. All right. We went into monk mode over the offseason, and now we're back enlightened. We're back a whole new person. All right. So our exactly. Zen is what you'll see, because now we can pass the ball and dribble through the middle of the field. You've never seen that in Nashville before. I've never seen that in Nashville before. Is this how soccer is to be played? I thought we just ran up the side and kicked it, crossed it to no one. I thought that's what we're supposed to do.
Always on the left.
Always on the left. Yes. There is no right.
Okay.
That's one thing we're excited about.
Dribbling and passing through the middle of the field.
Yes.
Hey,
Sounds crazy.
Concept.
Okay.
It's simple. It's concise. It's I like it. It's fine.
All right. What else you got? What else do we have to look forward to apart from kicking the ball more in the middle?
Oh man, dude, you guys, I'm telling you, that's the main thing. No, I'm playing. Well, we got some new guys. I don't know if you guys, Logan, also want to talk about them, or I could talk about them.
Go for it.
All right, man. Eddie Taxef.
Part of the midfield, basically.
I was still on that mid. I'm telling you, dribbling and kicking through the middle is Edward Taxef. He is the guy who's going to be doing a lot of that, dribbling and passing through the middle. We got him from where we get him from? What team he come from?
Rosenborg.
FC
Rosenborg, yes. Or KF or whatever they're
whatever
Norway calls it.
Oh.
One of the leagues, Logan calls all of those countries Scandinavian leagues.
Hey, they are in the
he just lumps them all into the no, you got to hear something once he's lumping into the Scandinavian.
That's all.
Yeah, but we've got him. We also got a young guy that he's midfield. He's more like a center defensive mid. We just signed him. We took him away from the Birmingham Legion in the USL. His name is Matthew Cochran, and he signed with them at age 15. Yeah, you know who that is?
I know Cochran. I know Matthew Cochran.
We play Birmingham a lot in our preseason, like
every year.
Yeah. No, that might be good value for you guys, because you didn't pay anything for him. We've got him on multiple options. Like this kid, but you can just tell by the way he plays. Like obviously he wants to get more playing time. He's been signed to a pro league or a pro team since he was 15. So we finally one of the things about Nashville that we've always talked about is like we don't feel like there's a lot of youth development, but we're seeing it now. Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we have like our youth, all of our young talent coming up through our academy. So that's, I think, one of the really great correlations that we have with like Europe is that we're actually able to develop our players. I mean, so if he's been signed since he was a kid, I mean, that's great. That's what you want. You know, you want him, you want him playing all the way, see the development all the way up and through, hopefully making it all the way up to the first team. So,
yeah. Well, I think he's got a good chance. I think he's got a good chance at first team, like a really, really solid chance this year of getting real minutes on the first team.
Yeah. After
that's great.
Next couple.
Yeah.
Also, what you got?
So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what BJ Callahan can do in his first full season as our head coach. And I
forgot you guys got BJ.
That's exactly. Right. So he had 9 games last year. We had some of our best goal scoring. Alex Morrill, who's been with Nashville since the beginning, actually had one of his best scoring seasons. And like 4 of his 5 goals came under BJ Callahan. And so it's like literally in 9 games, he scored 4 goals. And so with seeing what BJ can do with like our actual attack is exciting, because as y'all know, with this rivalry, you've seen enough of Gary Smith to know that Nashville has always been a bend, dope, break kind of team. They've always been very defensive mindset. Just control and then get on the counterattack, control and then get on the counterattack. That's kind of how Nashville has been. What we've already seen in this preseason, what we've already seen at the end of last season with what BJ Callahan is trying to do. And now he's kind of got his players, like what Tunju is just talking about. This midfield is completely overhauled. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do with this attack and what Nashville can actually do, in the league, because we're second from the bottom in the East last year.
Yep.
Yeah,
we want to make sure that we want to turn that around.
How much of that though hinges on Hani actually playing like Hani?
Yeah, I think that we want to see Hani getting back to that, but didn't he have a couple goals against you guys last year?
I think he loves having goals against
us. Everybody had goals against us last year, so we're not a fair comparison.
That's not the flex you think special.
It is. Hey, we're going to take the flexes we can get, all right?
True. Fair enough. Yeah, take the wins where you can get them. I'm eating my own words. You're right.
You said that. You told me that. Right. Your therapist told me that as well.
What y'all just said just reminded me of these soccer chants that I saw from over in England. And one of the chants was, "We lose every week. We lose every week. You're nothing special. We lose every week."
You're nothing special.
That is, I can't. It's either a Chelsea or a Spurs chant. It can't.
Sounds like a Sheffield Wednesday chant to me.
Holy cat! Sheffield Wednesday catching strays. Jeez.
Oh wow! Yeah, I throw them at Sheffield. They're one of the random teams I just throw strays at, because I stream on Twitch, and some guy who's a Sheffield Wednesday fan is always on my stream. And I'm like, all right, your team is catching strays from here until eternity.
Did you see that entire scene in Ted Lasso where he's like, "Who do we play Sheffield Wednesday?" They're like, "Okay, so who do we play on Friday?" Yeah. It's like, dude, your whole fucking team is named after, because there were 2 teams in Sheffield.
Yeah,
and you got the one that plays on Wednesday.
Plays the exactly
for you. Like, the other guys are United. You're just the Wednesday. Good for you.
Well, Wednesday is
Hump Day is a good way
hump
to.
Day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not the flex.
They should change their name to Sheffield Hump Day.
There you go.
There you go. Sheffield Hump Day.
We got you, Sheffield. Sheffield.
I've even got their mascot. It could be a camel.
I was totally.
It could be Joe Camel. It could be Joe Camel.
Wow.
All right. What else are you looking forward to?
So we've got BJ Callahan. We're really excited about that.
Lots of BJs.
Yes, lots of BJs. We want a lot of BJs
a lot of W's
this year.
BJ.
And so,
even if they're sloppy, we just need wins.
Yep. Yeah, we just need a win. Just need a win.
Yeah.
But we're also something that with the MLS and Leagues Cup and everything coming in, as you guys know, U.S. Open Cup is back in play for Nashville. We talked about it on our podcast. We think that might be attainable for Nashville with this overhaul. I don't know with how the MLS has changed and the playoffs have changed. I think a playoff berth is doable for Nashville. I don't know if a cup run is doable this year for Nashville, but I think an Open Cup run is actually something to look forward to. Being able to have more competition, being able to see some of the changes that have been made, and I think that with every Open Cup run, especially in the early rounds, you get to see some of the younger players who might not get the starts that they get in the MLS play.
Low-key,
and so I think that we're looking forward to seeing a little bit.
I'm a little jealous of y'all having
Same.
Open Cup.
Same.
I get it. It's cool. I don't want us playing loads of competitions and too many games too. But if you're giving me the choice between leagues and Open, winning Open Cup. Kat was there on that night when Larry Ginger hit a rocket into the goal.
Larry.
That was every bit as meaningful and fun to me as it was winning MLS Cup. Like, that was just a great night. It's a great tournament. And I'm kind of sad we're missing out on it.
It's like that one time we won.
It's a path to a trophy for y'all.
Did you hear that flex, Austin? Did you hear the flex he just hit us with? The double flex he just hit us with?
Oh, sorry. I mean,
he's like, we won the MLS Cup. We also, you remember that one time we won the U.S. Open Cup, and what have you guys done lately?
Cup too, while we're flexing.
And then
we did have that. Yeah,
and the Am fam.
Who carried the belt for 2 years? That's what I want to know.
See, that's all we can lean back on, bro. We almost
it doesn't
won
really
Leagues Cup.
count when you don't have a season because of a pandemic.
We only lost because of Messi's incredible goal against us in Leagues Cup, and then their goalie beating our goalie.
That's what it was.
In 11 rounds of PKs. That's the only reason we didn't win.
We don't know anything at all about
because we scored. So It all had to do with the goalie beating the goalie, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn doesn't know anything about a goalie beating a goalie. I was talking about the Red Bull Cup where Kepa skied it. When we beat you. Logan's laughing because Logan remembers.
Let's move on. Let's move on. They got one more. Let's move on. Let's move on.
We can see it.
Logan's got one more thing he wants to talk about.
Logan remembers.
I do remember. It's a sweet time. I'll give us the last thing, man. As far as the fifth thing that I think I'm most excited about, it's really kind of two. It's our attackers getting back to our attacking. So far in our preseason, towards the end of last year, you saw both Honey and Sam Surge coming back to form with our overhaul in the midfield so far in this preseason. You've seen them truly work the ball forward and give us a chance on those. In fact, one of our last couple preseason games, Sam Surge scored a hat trick in 42 minutes. I mean, I know it's not a huge deal, but Sam with the hat trick in 42 minutes is a pretty quick hat trick, especially for a guy who, honestly, we were kind of curious if it would really pan out. And it looks like he's really coming to form with Eddie Togseth passing it in the way he has, Andy Dejar coming in. We've had, Brugman, who was the MLS MVP Cup or Cup MVP with the Galaxy, is now with Nashville. Super awesome and excited for our attackers to actually have that support and to truly get things done. Yeah. So let's hear yours.
You want to hear? You want to hear our five?
You want to go to our five positives before your five?
Right,
yeah, I mean, we would love to
do that.
Actually, let's do that.
Yeah,
let's end on the bad notes.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll start off with one. It has to go with the attack as well. I think we're killer on paper. Why can't we just play this game on paper? Why do we have to go on the paper?
I know, right?
On paper, we're gonna rock this shit. We seem to have finally struck the balance here of like skill, speed, and IQ. And I think over the past few years, we have been too reliant on just one of those things. And I think we've got the right combination of personnel on the pitch to take advantage of, like, not every player is going to have all three of those qualities, but I think we got the right complement right now. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is like basically a fully realized version of what we think we aspire to be, what Atlanta United should be, what it was in the past, but it'll be a little bit different. But this seems as balanced as we have been, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Tunji and I were just talking about this yesterday. Pretty sure Atlanta won the preseason kind of winter transfer window. They definitely pulled quite a few pretty big hitters in.
That was entirely intentional.
Well, I hope so.
Every time, well, we haven't had, we didn't have I would say largely successful transfer windows in a while. Like, we've spent money, we spent money on Gigi, and then that didn't work out. We spent money on a couple of other people, like Jürgen Dahm way back. That didn't turn out either.
But his TikTok videos,
I know, they were so choice. But no, that was entirely intentional. They were like, okay, we have the time, we have the money, we have the slots. Let's throw as much fucking money at the fan as we can, but let's be smart about it too. And I think it's really important.
What Glenn says, I think, feeds into the other thing that I'm really optimistic about, which is we don't seem to be setting up as solely a possession-based team, right? There's so much versatility in what you can do with the lineup. Saba and Miggy can switch. Miggy and Moranchuk, they can switch. We've had 1 40-minute taste of Latte Lot, and oh my God, is that man a one? He's not the garbage collector striker, although he can do that. Like, Joseph made his living, camped out in front of goal, and just sat there and scooped up all the trash and put it back in the can, right? And there's a lot of strikers that can make a very good living in this league doing that, because MLS gives up a lot of trash in front of the net. It's true.
Yeah, we've seen it.
But
we all know it.
Yeah, but Latte Lot is just really, like, he's already everywhere. We've seen him for 40 minutes. Oh my God. And Ronnie just seems to be putting a lot more emphasis on not just having the ball, but having the ball at key moments and in the right places and having a plan of what to do with it after. And that plan does not involve passing it all the way back to the goddamn goalie to start all over again.
Like, it's not just possession ball. We have been a team, and we will still be a team that just wants the ball. But what we've struggled with, especially over the past few years under Pineda ball, is once we have it, we don't really know what to do with it.
What do we do now?
Like, playing pep ball is tough. Like, you've all got to be on the same page. You got to be synced up. You got to know what to do with it if you're going to play death by 1,000 cuts. And Ronnie is like, well, the goal's that way. Why don't we try kicking the ball that way? And focus on winning the ball closer to the goal, counter pressure. Like, it looks
European soccer, man.
Yeah,
we know a little something about kicking the ball backwards.
And you guys probably don't follow a lot of Atlanta social media to like where you would see this, but like after our first preseason game, Ronnie Dyla said something to the effect of, "Yeah, they passed the ball backwards too much, and I got bored watching it." Literally words that came out of this man's mouth. And all we wanted to do was just stand up and applaud. Thank you. Thank you. Now you know why so many of us didn't renew our damn season tickets this year.
This is it.
We were tired of it.
Another thing that I'm looking forward to, you were talking about how you've got like a value player from, for low cost that might be a really big contributor. We kind of fleeced DC for Click. We got him for next to nothing. He's basically a DP level player, and we paid like a little bit of Garber bucks to get him. So we're pulling a Miami here and got like 4 DPs, but he's not a DP. So I think he could surprise a lot of people this year, just in terms of how good he is and how integral he's going to be for us. He's really industrious. He works his fucking socks off, and we just didn't pay anything for him. It was like a couple $100,000 in GAM for a DP. Wasn't even that.
Click. Mateus Click
from DC.
He was a DP. Yeah, he was a DP for DC last year. He was the only, he was the one feeding the ball to Benteke.
That's right.
DC
and
had
they needed him off the books.
They needed him off the books. They had a cap space issue.
We drove by a little yard sale, and we're like, "Oh, what?
I'll take one of those."
Okay. Get in the car.
Oh, you got a Picasso in the front yard. Dope. Let me buy that for $3.
Yeah.
That's what happened here.
He's been good in preseason.
Yeah, and he's still occupying a DP slot for DC in all of this.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
You smooth criminals.
And he's got a European
undercover
background.
bandits.
Yeah. He's got a European background. So
he's not only does he have a European background, he's from Poland and has played on the Polish national team with Bartosz Slisz. So they already know each other. They have a rapport. It's nothing but good things.
They have really hard to say names if you don't know how to pronounce it properly.
Much already
understand a lot of that.
Well, it was so difficult that because we know it's Bartosz. It's like that's kind of how you say it. But like if you don't know that, it's they just like, you know what? Halfway through one of the preseason games, he just gave up, started calling him Bartok. And I'm like, that's not even, you're not even trying anymore. And that's okay. Yeah. It's hard.
I mean, if you know anything about like Polish names, one of the most famous Polish people in the U.S. is Mike Krzyzewski. And if you look at that name, it looks nothing like Krzyzewski.
No,
looks like Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of Polish friends with Polish last names. There's Michowicz and Satkovich. And no, if you didn't know,
you didn't know.
You'd never know.
If you know, you know.
If you weren't told, you'd never know.
So what you got, Kat?
Okay, so it's just something that it's obvious. Okay, one of the biggest things is Miggy. Okay, and towards the end of last season, and I think honestly, pretty much from I don't know if you'd call it like P Day for Pineda. The day that ended in infamy of everything, and kind of the rest of the season started then was after Pineda left, and it was kind of awful for a while. It was kind of hard having anything to look forward to, and then we went on that playoff run, and that was great, and it was like, hey, something to believe in again. I love this. But for a while it was really hard, and a lot of that was reflected in the people that were attending the games. We had attendance be so far down, farther than it's ever been. You know, because we started at the top when we opened in 17, it was like sell out. You know, like we occupied the top, we still occupy 10 of the top 12 spots of all of MLS in the history of MLS and shit like that, right?
The only ones that have changed are the fake season opener for Charlotte, where
right,
they
and the MLS Cup for LAFC.
The
right?
Rose Bowl. No. It was the Rose Bowl game last season, because the Rose Bowl capacity and
It's like 120,000 people. I know that's almost not even fair.
Well, it's not the same stadium capacity. You can't really like bank on that.
But was that El Tráfico? Was that what they did?
Yeah,
they did
El Tráfico at the Rose Bowl.
But it's really kind of it was so noticeable, like, because the volume goes down when you're in the Benz and you've got that place packed. It's deafening, and not just when we score; it's anytime. And so when it's like when I'm watching a game and I can hear individual people yelling, it was like pandemic ball again, where it's like you could hear the coaches, you know, yelling to the players or the players talking to themselves. It's not good. It's not a good look. It's not a good feeling. It's
like
not
a
good
preseason game or something.
Yeah, it's not good for the players. It's not good for the other fans, because then if you have any casual fans attending that game, they're like, well, this isn't the environment that I was promised. This isn't the party that I heard that these games were all the time. But I've been saying something that we talked about in the offseason was, wouldn't it be cool, or would it be cool? How would we all feel if they brought Joseph back? Because he wasn't going to re-sign with Montreal. So we're like, okay, well, possibilities, you know, is that a thing? And I was like, well, you probably get a lot of people coming back just to see him. And I swear it kind of felt like it was kismet or something, you know, like it was foreshadowing. Never did I think that Miggy was on our radar to bring back, but I've been saying it since it was even a rumor, and it was like, okay, Garth, you're making some moves and I like what you're doing. If you want a surefire way to put some fucking butts back in the seats, Miggy is the guy. And and then a week went by and more talks were happening, and then more talks, and then more talks. And then it became a thing. And now it's real. And I'm like, you're going to get not just the loyal, the 17s back, but you're going to get a lot of people who remember what it was like to watch that man play and run up and down the pitch.
So, Kat, I want to build on what you're saying here.
Please.
because that's honestly, it's like, it's the number 5 for me is, it's just the vibes, right?
It's just the vibes.
It's the vibes, and it's not, you know, okay, well, we were, you know, because last year we looked really good on paper and, you know, whatever. There's always hope with a new season. Well, this year it feels a little different. It feels
starting
like the authenticity is back. It's not just, oh, we're going to spend all this money. We're going to spend all this money on the right pieces, right? If you look at the Latte Loss signing, right, it's not just, oh, we're going to spend $22 million on a striker and bring him in. We're going to spend $22 million on a guy that 4 Premier League clubs wanted. Right. That's different. And not a guy who's 33 or 36, but a guy who's 26 and wants to come here to spend his best years. That's a game-changing signing right there. And everything that the club is doing, look, for whatever you want to believe about the numbers of season ticket members that dropped and how many people are now trying to come back a little bit, which is great. No judgment either way. The club is doing things right. Everything top down, from the social media to the season ticket member gifts are back the way that like they had been for years, instead of some throwaway duffel or some glasses that broke. I mean, what we got this year with the box, and I'm not spoiling it if you haven't gotten your box yet, but like the box, the packaging, everything is on point. And it seems like they're legit not trying to ride their own coattails anymore. Yeah. And that too is like, you know, I think it speaks volumes to moving the tailgate location back.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that y'all did that.
Yeah, the tailgate lot is closer, and that just ties in with everything. Like, the atmosphere should be better. The atmosphere is going to be better because Miggy is there. It feels very reminiscent of when we were winning and the vibes were.
I think there's a lot less cautiously optimistic and a lot more actual optimism.
Hopefully optimism.
So that's good, but there are things with optimism comes.
Now we're segueing into the negative things. We'll throw it back to you guys.
Yeah.
What concerns now? We've gone over all the good stuff. What are you looking out for? Where are the hazards?
Well, you guys just spent a good amount of time talking about the vibes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right. Those vibes, I'm feeling them. If you guys don't remember, I told you that before Nashville got a MLS team, I used to go to Atlanta. I would hang out in y'all's supporters section, undercover Nashville SC fan. I still but I know the vibes. I know the vibes you're talking about, and I'm excited. Like literally when I heard Miggy was coming back, I was like, yes, like quietly under my breath. You know what I mean? But that's the exact thing that I'm worried about for Nashville. Like the vibes, like everything you were saying about like how it's got a little quiet in the stadium, the vibes just being off. That's exactly what I've noticed with Nashville. Actually in two ways. One is with all the uncertainty that happened last year, Gary Smith getting sacked, just going on pretty much one of the ugliest runs of soccer I've seen from any team ever. I mean that. I was on the team. I was on the soccer team in high school that we lost every game but one. That what I had to witness last year was almost as bad. The like a lot of the fans, we just I just could tell, man, everybody was just not excited. It's like going to the game was like a chore. Being in a supporter section sometimes felt like a chore, at least for the people who were dedicated the last 3-4 years of their lives to cheering for this team. So, and then the other part of the excitement and the vibes is for Nashville SC, I always notice in somewhere midway through the season where they just kind of lose, like people again lose interest. I'm sure this happens with every team, but for Nashville, like one of the things I've noticed is they don't know what to do about that. Like I've talked to the guys in the back office, and they see it, and it's just like, well, how do you keep people excited about your team the whole season? And I mean, one of the easiest things to do is win. That's one of the easiest things to do. The other thing is just even if you're losing, if you guys can score and move the ball through the middle of the pitch and dribble through the middle of the pitch,
make it exciting ball.
I promise you,
exciting.
It doesn't actually
ball.
Scoring for Tunjay. Apparently, all Tunjay wants to see is the ball go from the top of the back third through the middle third and maybe get to the final third.
I would love to
be happy.
What a concept!
That middle third.
What a concept.
We need that.
So the difference between them being excited about vibes, us being upset about vibes is
concern.
Y'all spoke about you have the wins that you can reflect on, and they're not far distant wins. It feels like it, but we have nothing to fall back on, and we've got. We didn't make the playoffs last year. We had a first round exit the year before, and then the year prior to that, I think it was a second round exit, but it was a pretty bad, it was barely making it to the second round kind of thing.
What are the other hazards that are on your radar?
Awesome. Well, I only had that one. It was a pretty big one. Yeah, Austin, what you got?
I got a question for you because I listened to your last couple of pods, and y'all are talking about this road to 50, right?
Yeah.
Do you think 50 goals is enough to get it done and do something in this league right now?
So, it is, because that's the one that if you look at consistent playoff teams are scoring 50 goals every year. Teams that are making the playoffs every single year are consistently scoring 50 goals. So yes, that is a road back to the playoffs, a road to make playoff runs, is if you can get to that level of scoring, because Nashville last year was the first year that they didn't make the playoffs. Since they were a team. And Nashville has never gotten to 50 goals. And so if Nashville can make that jump to 50 goals, then yes, that is something that we can be excited about.
Might be the year to do it. There's a couple of juggernauts before, the really good teams. I think they're going to be in trouble. Columbus, I think they're going to be in trouble. They still got a great coach, but this might be a year where those spots are going to become available. You know what I'm saying?
And with a coach and mindset change and philosophy change for Nashville, I think that's. Yeah.
I
but
do
something
think...
that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I interrupted. Go ahead. Finish.
I was just going to say something else, segueing back into our concerns, though. That's actually a road to 50 I'm excited about. I think it's possible and doable. But a concern, rather, is the players to get us to that. Because I've got a couple of concerns with our DPs. We've got Hani Mukhtar and Walker Zimmerman, who my concern is, are they going to get back to form? You mentioned it earlier, is Hani going to get us back there? And so that is a concern, is if they can't, then who is, who will get us there? Because Hani Mukhtar, I want to see another MVP season from him. I think it's possible. I think it's probable. I don't know if it's possible because of how the league has changed and some of the top of the league has gotten a lot better. As far as
I think
players.
he meant to put that the other way. I think he meant to say it's possible, not probable. What
Maybe.
do you think? Yeah, I don't think it's probable, bro.
Possible, not maybe not probable.
I think it's possible, like 1 in 100, probable. I'd say like 60 in 100.
It's possible for anybody in the league. However, but because just the competition level has gotten higher. It's elevated. Even within the past 2 years since Hani won it, the competition level has gotten more difficult, and Nashville has had a shift. He's gotten older, but on the back end, Walker Zimmerman, he is getting older. He's like 33 now, 32, 33, something like that. But he's getting older. He's been injured a lot here more recently in the past couple years, and so you've seen him kind of losing a little bit of a step on the back end, and so getting our DPs back to playing in form, that's a little bit of a concern for me.
How do you feel about your depth? Do you have any?
We do a little bit at center back because we've got Palacios who we just brought in, and then we still have Jack Mayer and Josh Bauer that we have as well at center back, and three of our 4 true center backs have been starters pretty consistently for Nashville.
Right.
Is your academy doing anything? I
think they are now. We've just had 2 this preseason, 2 homegrown signings. Yeah. I believe. And so our academy, it's either, and we talked about it on our podcast, is it one of those, are we signing these players to increase interest in our academy? Hey, there's a road to the MLS through our academy, or are we signing these players because they actually have gotten better and are earning that? It's a give or take, depends on how you want to look at it. But BJ Callahan, he was actually in Philadelphia's academy side, and so you look at Philadelphia Union's academy, theirs is one of the best in the league. They pretty consistently are signing homegrown players, and they kind of build within. That's kind of how they build their team, and BJ Callahan was a part of that. And so now having him here, I think the academy is going to do more. I don't know if it's all the way there yet, but you got to look at it. I mean, the team on the MLS side this is now year 6. That's not a lot to build an academy, and so I think that it will get there. And having somebody who has a lot of interest in development. And that process development of players, even going back or all the way down to the academy side, I think that is something to look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you're worried about? Your worry list seems very short. But I'm a pessimist, so I just find it odd. So,
hey man, it's Hakuna Matata over here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
you can't get much worse than last year, so
nowhere to go but up, right?
Yeah, it's either 2 down or all the way up, and we've got a lot more room on one side than the other.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of room to grow, one of the biggest concerns, in my opinion, I mean, we've seen a lot of it in preseason when it comes to how well our new players are melding with our kind of core that we've had. But it is always still a concern anytime you bring new players in, especially we brought 10 new players in. And so we've got, with those 10 new players, how's that chemistry? What are those chemical reactions looking like on the pitch? How well is it going to translate to goals? You talk about the road to 50. It is kind of a concern for me. I think it's doable, especially with what I saw so far in preseason. But it is something we like to talk. I mean, I know Tunji knows what I'm talking about when it comes to chemical reactions. That's a little Blue Lock reference.
You're a nerd,
if you've not
bro.
watched,
you're a nerd, bro.
Blue Lock, it's an amazing soccer anime. Hey, it's great.
Yeah, he's guys watching soccer anime, bro.
Wow.
Hey, let's be real.
It too.
It works. It's so good. But It is. It matters. Like those chemical reactions between one player to another, how well they meld together, how well they work together. What does that look like? Where's their, where's that look going to come from? How is that going to translate? And can they score on that outlook? It's pretty fun to think about, and it is kind of scary to think about. Yeah, road to 50. I mean, you mentioned is kind of that, scary thought. I mean, we have the potential now to make the playoffs. I mean, we've got 30 teams now, 9 of which on each side in the East and the West get into the playoffs. But we didn't make it last year.
Are we counting San Diego? Because I kind of feel like they were AI generated, and I'm not sure if they're real or not.
I mean, let's be honest, they are AI generated, but we do have our boy Anibal Godoy who's there now. So,
you just killed me with that.
He'll forever be gold.
Their team is Chat GPT in real life.
It's crazy.
No, that's crazy.
All right, that's if they come to Nashville, that's our TIFO. We know. We Chat GPT'd this TIFO.
You just put up a blank sheet.
Yeah, just literally say that on it. Just we Chat GPT this and make it really small.
They're gonna come there. Y'all are gonna
really
deep
small
seek
writing,
their ass.
that's
Like
it.
it's just gonna be that much better, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, oh man, yeah. Elon Musk is trying to buy them.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
No, but in all seriousness, like it is a concern. Like, yes, we're excited. Yes, we think it's doable, but it is a concern to see whether your team can make it 250 or not. We've talked about it, with our backline friends, like those of us across several of the SGs. We've even mentioned like, hey, should we like keep a count? And then some of us are like, what if we don't get there? Like, what if we keep that count and like, we're in October and we're at 22 goals. Like that doesn't look good on us. Why should we do that? And that's kind of the thought process. Like, is it going to be a struggle to get there or not? So yeah, those are kind of the two concerns. You mentioned one earlier, but honestly, the biggest thing is how's the chemistry going to work with the new and the old? How is that really going to come together?
Well, it's an interesting point too, because you can win a game 1-0 very easily, but how exciting is that going to be? How many butts in seats is that going to put?
Yeah.
If you're really looking for vibes, because I was going to say that earlier when Tunchi was talking about it, y'all had incredible vibes the first 2 or 3 seasons. I was like, damn, look at that. And I loved the theme and everything that y'all had running through there. Yeah. It was really, really, really there. So it's you can win with 1, but you're going to get a lot more people, a lot more excited with 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
even if you're losing, but you're still scoring 2 to 3 goals,
that's
it's
exactly
very good point.
Exactly.
Yes.
I said it on
that's a step forward.
I said it on one of our podcasts a few months back that I was like, if we are losing 4-3, I will be more excited than winning 1-0 every time.
Well,
I want to see
exciting
goals.
to watch. It's like going to amateur hockey games. You're guaranteed 5 or 6 goals in at least 2 or 3 fights.
Hey, US and Canada had 3 fights in 9 seconds. So we had
Nobody watched that hockey match last night.
It
3
was
fights
great.
in 9 seconds. The gloves came
Wait, was that real?
It
It
was
was
real.
like
The anthem and started fighting.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Tunji, the most American thing ever happened last night. Like, so 3
I mean,
fights.
I saw the thing.
Canada booed during our national anthem,
just
which,
like,
with what our president has said about Canada, fair.
Can't blame
However, the players came right back with 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. And then we went down 1-0, but then scored 3 unanswered goals. And after every single goal, blared Freebird. After every single goal. And it's like the most American thing ever.
Wait, did the Canadian players boo the anthem?
It was in Canada.
It was a great time. It was fun to see it.
There were plenty of
I'm happy
jerseys there, and there was a lot of blues.
I'm happy for Team USA, honestly.
Good.
And that can feel
I
weird
like
to
that.
say in these crazy times we're living on, but I'd just like to remind everybody that no one side or one person owns patriotism and how you feel about your country winning.
Absolutely.
It was fun, and I'm going to keep cheering for it. It was great. All right.
And Jake Gensel, who I've got a couple signed things by, thanks to my boy Logan.
You're welcome.
He netted the empty netter to seal the deal for USA.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Our concerns. I think it's pretty telling that we have a little shared Google Doc of the list of things we were excited about, and list of things we were concerned about, and we have more things that we're concerned about, and we really shouldn't. But this is trauma talking over the past few years, and
Trauma
it says a lot about
vibes.
me as a person. Anyhow, so we're just gonna pick out 5 out of the like 10 that are here, and my top one is health, because that has been our biggest problem. Started with y'all.
Yeah,
Wow,
Joseph
that was
out.
coming.
We're still friends.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. We sort of kind of forgave you, but not
it's
really.
Fine. It's fine. It's
We're
fine.
gonna it's always gonna be in the
Non-contact
background, man. That
injury.
you're
Different
gonna
it's
come
not
in,
our
like,
fault.
different
Cicadas
pitch.
were crazy.
It's fine.
just
Non-contact injury.
Like for real though, of all the issues we've had with different players and coaches that have not worked out, our results would have been a lot different if we could just stay healthy. Like we would still have those issues with players and coaches, but when you have that many injuries, there's only so much you can do. Life would have been a lot different if we had stayed healthy, and we're already seeing injuries in this preseason. Ronnie, new coach, I love him, but his emphasized training like every day is MLS Cup. I'm all for building that fitness, but like, just back off just a bit, because when you're all gas and no
he
break,
is giving them water. He's letting them drink water.
it's true, but like when you're all gas and no break, you do run the risk of like either running out of fuel or throwing a rod, busting a piston and throwing a rod, and we just got to be. That's my top concern for this week. It's just stay healthy this year. I beg of you, just stay healthy, guys.
Yeah, I really think that like MLS fitness is kind of a world in and of itself. There's European fitness, there's, Emiki's fitness, and then there's MLS fitness. And
there's also Planet Fitness.
And LA Fitness.
Okay, I have never set myself up so poorly or so perfectly for.
Yeah, you got to spike those, Fokker.
Spitting this whole pizza in my mouth.
That was a two-handed set for you guys.
Jennifer or Kat, what else are you worried about? What do you got?
So I think really from a player personnel standpoint, my big question, and Lord forgive me for asking this question, St. Brad, I'm sorry. I love you. I mean you no disrespect here. Because my God, the man just like euthanized. He just completely, I don't know, went to Ponce or somewhere, wherever they found, whatever fountains that
Palm Springs.
Well, look, he also, look, the man, full credit, he works his butt off.
Yeah.
But legitimately, he's 40. Like, how long is the Guzanazance gonna last?
Okay.
Brad Guzan is 40 years old.
He is 40
years
old.
40 years young to the other 40-year-old people.
I'm over
to be fair, he is in charge of a lot of Death Eaters also, so it kind of trying to go after Harry Potter really takes up a lot of his other time.
One of them is Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, he can take him.
He really could. I swear.
I think we're if we're thin depth wise anywhere, it's in goal. Yeah. Because I think we've all kind of seen that Josh Cohen is not the answer or the successor.
Yeah, that's a Mean Girls reference. Quit trying to make Cohen happen. It's not happening.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen with him.
You're not gonna wear pink on Wednesdays either. It's okay. You can't sit with us. It's fine. Yeah. But yeah. So and Hibbert, there's a lot of positive vibes around Hibbert, who's coming out of our academy.
Too young still though.
But he's not even 20.
He's on a great path, but he's got to stay on that path.
He had the most. This is like one of those good bad stats where like he had the most saves in all of MLS Next Pro last season, which is not a good thing, but it's a good thing if you're a goalie kind of thing, right? Yeah. So, but I don't even think he's 20 yet. Like he's not. Like he's not the guy either, and he needs to play. On the twos, and he needs to be in that like everyday starting. He's not going to do that backing up Brad, who's, you're going to need a crowbar and Charlton Heston to pry him out of that net with your cold dead hands.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to actually have to trade for a keeper to replace Brad. I don't think it's going to be either of the two people that we have.
We will get somebody new.
Hibbert's not going to come up fast enough.
What?
Well. What'd you say?
Elliot Panico's available.
Yeah.
He made the Leagues Cup run for us.
I mean, he really did. He's the one that got us to
he's a
11
big part of it. You guys can take him.
Yeah, he's a great goalie when it comes to PKs.
Maybe not. I need somebody that's more than just a shot stopper. You know, but
we had the privilege of talking to Greg Garza with Atlanta United FanTV this past week. So if you haven't listened to that pod, go give it a listen. It was really super. It was super fun. And Greg said, like, it's just remarkable how much a goalie actually controls the flow of the pitch and influences the game.
We asked who was the most important player on the pitch, and we all thought you'd say somebody like a center back or even like a midfielder, like a number 10 or something. But no, he said the keeper. He said the goalie is the most important player on the field.
They're important. They're important, especially in a build-up system like ours. All right, the next thing I'm worried about is the summer. We've got like a 2-month road match because we're hosting Club World Cup at the Benz. So we're not going to see a home game for like June or July, and that's a brutal stretch. Same. That's tough. It's tough to win on the road.
Well, June we won't see
we got June World Cup.
All right, let me see. When are we playing? When are we playing some World Cup?
You guys have Club World Cup?
Home. You didn't know?
World Cup.
But no, hold on. We also have Club World Cup at Geodis.
Look, as you should, because I've never knocked your. It's a fantastic venue. I just wish it was more accessible, friendly to get into that venue, because once you get up that mountain, it's a great stadium.
It's a castle on the hill.
It's a castle on the hill.
Come to Lucky's 3-star bar. Walk with us to the stadium.
There you go.
We'll show you
get on your friend's back, like Sam did with Frodo.
Will you give us piggyback rides? Because we're old.
I may not carry it.
We have chariots. They're called beer taverns.
All right.
Yep.
You may have
pedal
to
taverns.
rolling the pedal taverns. Yeah, you may have to ride with some bachelorettes, but it'll be fun.
If we can get through it'll
be uniquely Nashville.
We'll be
I love
okay.
I love them. That's great.
If we can get through that stretch, we'll be okay. Kat, what are you worried about?
Here's my main concern is allowing, and Jennifer, it feels very similarly because she keeps telling us to help hold her back, but it's allowing ourselves to become too enthusiastic and too optimistic because we seem to keep getting burned. And and that's a sort of a like a Phoenix, Atlanta reference there, and it's true. We always seem to rise from the ashes, but my personal biggest concern is continuing to repeat the same thing. It feels like the last 5 seasons we go into we're like, since okay, like we have a crap season, we have
not
a crap
ball, right?
Yeah, no, like, but we have the off season and we get optimistic. We make a couple of moves, make a couple of roster moves, and then we go into the first couple of weeks and it's like, okay, maybe things are okay. And then we get into this lull and then things don't go well. And then we replace our coach and then we get new players. And
You sound like the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, no, God, no. Oh, God, we don't have Jones. Fucking.
Yeah, at least you don't have a.
But we do have a big window that if you catch the sun at the wrong angle.
That's true. You do get fried.
Or a magnifying glass.
You don't want to be on that side of the stadium.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is the one good thing about all these Saturday games. You don't have to worry about that. But and we have a big open hole too where you can
catch rain.
It's very warm. But I'm afraid to kind of let myself believe.
I know.
I'm right
there
with you.
That kills you. I know.
The hope it kills you, and if we're not
but
there,
I want to.
Yeah,
that's my concern. Is that I want to so much.
Mulder and Scully. I want to believe. I
do. And that's my concern is if I let myself believe in it so much, is this going to feel even more of a letdown than usual because of Miggy
crushing.
And because of because of so many things. Yeah, I will be fucking crushed.
It will be crushing. Miggy coming back and we don't get it done.
If we don't do it right, if we do not do this right, it will be crushing. It will be
what is
this?
What is this with Miggy?
Like if we don't make a deep run, if we don't make a deep playoff run, like if we don't make the most out of this for trophies at some point in time in this season, the city will consider that a failure.
Top
we are not
conference.
Look at our roster. Yeah, if you look at our roster, how we're built, what we spent, what we have going on here. There is no reason this club should not be playing for trophies. I'm not saying
legitimately competitive all season.
It's got to be Eastern Conference Finals. It's got to be deep in the cup.
And it's look, I'm not saying we're gonna win every game, we have to be legitimately competitive all season.
Yep.
We can't fall off the map for 3 months at a time.
That's what I mean. And we have done that every season for 5 seasons. It feels
100%, Kat. I'm right here with you. And then, oh my God, we're going to wake up in the middle of August, realize that we're boned.
And it's too fucking late.
And it's too late. And then you wind up getting a run like we had and a playoff matchup against Columbus, who goes on to win the cup, that was really competitive, but we never had a real shot at because...
No, you beat Miami twice out of fucking nowhere.
We beat Miami, but we lost every backup striker that we had in the process. What are we supposed to do with that, right? Like, so we got lucky. We got some really nice buzz and hope out of that, but that hope didn't make it through the summer. We have to get through the summer intact.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer.
Yeah. So, one of my other concerns, man, is the fact that why does Charlotte and fuck you Orlando look better than we do on the pitch this season?
Oh, me too.
Why? Why?
We have to give credit where it's due. Charlotte is, as the kids say, 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yeah, no notes.
Absolute fucking facts.
It's not the best kit, but it's probably.
Oh man, it's up there.
And also, Charlotte should be
belt race.
Top 3.
Charlotte should be better this year too. I think they're gonna be competitive.
Dude, they're gonna be hard to beat.
They were competitive last year. They were competitive last year. I think they're going to be even better this year.
They have way more scoring than they've ever had.
They've added attacking firepower.
I think this is going to hinge on how much of a head case Zaha is in reality and function.
Big head case.
Is he going to be the second coming of Zlatan and his avocado farm, or
the avocado farm? Wow. Okay.
Ted Lasso reference.
Zaha already got into a fight with our new guy, Eddie Tagsev, during our preseason match against.
That's promising.
First, he was in Charlotte for all of 4 days before this happened.
Wow.
So
and what's great about it though is like Tagsev is smiling the entire time, basically getting under this guy's skin.
It's beautiful.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
But yeah, because I think I cannot say his last name, but the new kid for the U.S. men's national team, Patrick. I want to say Aubergine, but that's not fair. Ajiman. Yeah. He looks like the real deal, and I think what happens with him is whatever happens with him in the next couple of years, we'll actually finally get to see what kind of a club Charlotte thinks they are. Are they going to be a club that wants to hold serve and win trophies, or are they going to be a selling club? Right. It really depends, because I think he's going to be somebody really special that all of us are going to hate playing against for the next couple of years.
Can they keep him because they go to Europe
there?
Yeah, but Zaha is a real wild card because he hasn't won. He's been kicked out of a bunch of clubs over in Europe, and that's kind of why he's wound up over here. So I don't know, but it makes me mad how good they're going to look doing it, because I don't dislike our kit. I like the connector kit. I think, in theory, I like
the gold stripes is nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it does look good. It's just clean. It's safe. It's just safe.
We understand what that looks like.
Well,
we've got safety in the highlights.
Well, I mean, highlighted.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. If we're gonna do this real quickly, I'm curious as to everybody on this pod, because we've talked about it a little bit with the mixtape guys, but everyone's number one best kit of the MLS this year and worst kit of the MLS this year. Glenn, start us off, man.
Charlotte is the best, and I'm gonna go the Hey There Delilah kit from San Diego, plain white tee.
What's it like in San Diego?
I'm pretty basic. Sorry, but just go to Target, $5 for a pack of Hanes. You could do that. So yeah, that's for me.
Kat?
Number one is Charlotte's kit also, but I'm gonna have to say, and just right here, if you had to right here is Portland's kit.
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah, I can't. It's just so good. There's so much about it. It's just it's choice meat. On the worst kit is Miami's second kit, the pink on pink, which normally
you mean into Argentina?
Messy because of Argentina, but it looks so bad.
Yes. Normally I like a good pink on pink action. Okay, but in this particular case is just
wow. That was good.
Wow.
I got it.
It's just too fucking boring.
Wow.
Okay?
I got the joke.
All right, since Jennifer's having to recover, Austin, what's yours, man?
One of my favorite ones, it's actually like I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, but it's San Jose's. And if you look at theirs, it's because of like all the history that they put on it and in it.
Love that.
It's
News
got
kit.
all like the news
very good.
clippings, the
Yeah.
newspaper stuff, and like all of that's in it. I really,
Austin,
really
I
like
had
that.
that kit on my college dorm room wall. I had that kit on my first apartment wall. It makes my punk heart girl heart just go teary.
It's really good too. I had somebody
It's so
say
good.
that they thought it looked too busy, that it was
No,
like they
it's
understood
perfect.
what they were going for there, but that they didn't do it right. I'm like, what
They
are you
did.
talking about? It's
It's
fantastic.
Oh no, this is
Yeah.
really good.
It's
Holy
really
crap.
good.
Oh,
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Worst.
What's the worst one?
Worst one. Gosh, this one was hard because I mean I'm not a big fan of ours. I'm not a big fan of Sporting KC's. Like the stripes that are
Oh.
the horizontal stripes, but
Dude, that would give me a headache. Like
yeah,
that one.
it's
a
like
magic eye.
unfocused. But I mean ours and like Houston Dynamos, I know DC's, like basically it's like they just went
There's a
copy
few.
paste and just changed the colors. Like they went into Windows paint, and just
Yeah.
just took the little fill bucket and just changed the colors around, and that's essentially what happened. So those are some of the worst for me. I'll include us in that. I think Dallas ended up doing the
Yeah,
same
Dallas
exact
is pretty
thing
good.
as well.
Yeah.
Jennifer, now that you have recovered, what about yours? Top,
All
top
right.
and bottom.
Number one, and literally like up here, and then there's everybody else is the Salish Sea kit from Seattle. I just think
yeah, that's good.
everything about that kit is brilliant. I love the community tie-ins that they've done with it. I love the story that it tells. I do think the design is actually cool to look at. Like, it's not just, oh, it's a great story. No, the kit actually looks really cool. But like every little detail, from the Salish wording on the jock tack to the cool little like orca wave thing on the back of the neck. And then if you have a second and you go onto their Facebook page or whatever, and you watch the woman who did the color design with the weaving, and you watch her story, like, man, it was just mind-blowingly good. But also up there for me is the Charlotte kit. I think it's just, yeah. And I'm actually like, and I love the San Jose Earthquakes kit. That got a 10 from me. And the Columbus Crew Goosebumps kit, because again, I'm a 90s girl and I want to wear a glow in the dark spooky kit. Like, please.
That's cool.
It's
It's different. It's bold.
The only thing I think of when you put a black light on that is the Office episode when they're in the hotel room.
God.
I hope it's
and then if you're gonna go the other end of the spectrum, for me, I don't know what the name of it is because it kind of doesn't matter, but I'm calling it the generic AI kit. Because for me, the San Diego
kit.
the San Diego black with whatever kit that looks like it's the freeze screen on DirecTV. Like, this is what you're going to see when DirecTV isn't working.
Because it just says DirecTV on it.
I don't see the DirecTV moving and just bouncing like the DVD
It's not
logo.
even the Chat GPT kit. It's the
That's
Grok
another
kit.
Office reference in like
what actually would have been
Logan.
really, really awesome is if they had done that, but then taken the flying toasters from the Microsoft. That would have been really, I don't know, something. I'm sorry, San Diego. We're thrilled to
when
have
you
you in
win
the league.
solitaire and the cards.
Yes, and we're thrilled to have you in the league, San Diego, because everybody wants to go to an away at San
for sure.
Diego and like sit on the beach, but like,
You're
man, they're just not making it easy for
It's
you
just
guys.
going to be
you're
weird
gonna-
walking around San Diego. I'm just going to be like, wow, there's a lot of San Diego kids out here. It's just going to be a white shirt.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell. Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell who's playing simply by like if you weren't looking up at the top. You're like,
I'm gonna
who's
go to a
that?
San Diego match and just put on like a plain white shirt and then go into their supporter section and be like, I fit.
Draw it
I'm a
on.
part now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
draw on the letter. Just draw on like the number on the
my
back of a
God.
Sharpie. You're like, I did it.
I mean, you
Hey,
got to
Austin, be
write
careful.
if
They
they come
can do
to
that with us,
Atlanta.
too.
You just got to write, "Hey there, Delilah." On Antifa, and you're good.
Oh, man.
TIFO committees, if you're listening, we took care of you already for your incoming
Clear.
San
There you go.
Diego matches.
Timothy.
And then also
Oh,
on
sorry, hold
my not so nice list, the Philly Voltage kit. because it's Philly and I hate it.
Fair enough.
I feel
I
that.
understand.
All right.
Tunji, what are yours, man?
Number one, I'm gonna say something that I don't think anyone said. The Colorado Rapids put out a really nice looking
There's a
kit.
so dope. I was gonna take it. If you
I
didn't.
ranked
put
it
out
a 10.
really nice looking kit.
Yeah, I ranked it a 10. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
So clean.
You don't like
Look
it?
at that.
You
Look
don't
at
like
Glenn.
it?
Snowy cap.
What's the matter with you?
The tree.
Are you kidding me?
It looks like
That is an amazing kit.
Okay. I
looks
think
like a
the
Jackson Pollock gone
sublimated,
wrong. What?
the sublimated Colorado water thing is really, really cool. But then it's like somewhat they hung the kit up and someone like got stuck in the mud and like threw mud all over this really cool design. And I wish they hadn't done that.
Do y'all not see in it? You have to zoom in. I don't know if y'all saw it, but if you zoom in white, very lightly, it says Colorado Rapids.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what
Colorado
I'm
Rapids.
saying.
It says
But
it on
they
there.
covered
It's
it
so
up
dope.
with like truck flap mud.
Yeah, exactly. This feels like one
I
of
think
those
it looks
posters
great.
in grade school where you're supposed to stare at it for a while and see sailboats.
No,
I
that's Sportings. That's
the
Sportings.
C on theirs as well.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's clean.
I don't know. It's all right, but to each his own.
I used to love
worst.
those, by the way.
What's your worst one, Judy?
The Magic Eye. They're called Magic Eye.
Just ripped
Yeah,
out
those
his
were great.
childhood, you know, and just
Those are you just insulted my childhood. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, my worst kit, and just because I like to stir the pot, Atlanta United.
Okay.
Worst kit in the league.
All right.
Nah, I'm playing. It's not bad.
Is it New
It's not
England?
bad. Huh?
Is it New England?
No.
Gillette,
It's
like the shaving cream logo one. Like
Yes.
that looks like a
that
shaving
one.
cream.
That one was
can.
weird to me.
Yeah.
I liked it at first, and then when I realized it was like the shaving cream stuff, I was like, oh, I don't like that.
It legitimately looks like a shaving cream.
I don't know
logo.
what
Now that
why
you
that
mention
changed
it.
it.
Yeah, it does.
I have no idea why that changed it, but it did. But no, my real worst kit is I'm gonna say NYCFC because every time I see it, it looks like a Man City kid. Like
That's
immediately,
Well,
I
City
think
football group.
Manchester
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
I know, but it just looks so much like Man
It
City.
does.
I'm like,
It
no, I
does.
don't like
It's
it.
literally
I don't
theirs
like
from last year.
Probably,
mean,
and that's
it
why I
is.
hate it.
That's
Oh
what it
man, they
is.
just recycled it.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Wow.
That's why I hate it.
I didn't know that. That actually makes it a lot worse. Can I change my ranking?
Go ahead.
Too late.
No, I mean, we have a whole like ranking that we did for all the kits, and like I actually kind of liked it. I thought the color blocking was a different look and feel for them. It didn't look just like a plain blue shirt with the City logo on it, which is normally what they do.
Mhm.
But now that I know it's Man City's kit from last year, and no.
before Glenn closes us out, can I just give like 2 honorable mentions?
Well, hey, I haven't even gone through mine yet.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to
I
hear it.
apologize, Logan. I apologize.
Hey,
You
I'll
go
say it.
for
I know
and then
I
I'll
know
give
we
my
already
honorable
said it,
mentions.
or-
Go for it.
I know Jennifer already talked about it a little bit, but man, the Hurricane kit from Orlando is choice. It really is. The Perfect Storm kit from Orlando. I like it, man. It's cool. It's different. Just the little bitty vibes with it. I understand that they've rocked purple for a while, but the purple on the black looks solid.
Purple
really
always stands out.
Yeah.
It's always bold. It's always like in your face, and there's nothing really wrong with that. So
I hate how well it's going to pair with.
I hate how well it looks.
Here,
Yeah,
can
I hate how
can I
good it
make
does
it?
look.
Can I make it better for y'all, or worse for y'all?
Go ahead.
It looks like one of those, you know, those things that you can like that has all like the little metal pins and you can stick your hand, make your hand pop out.
My son
Look at the
loves
kit,
those. Oh,
and it's
yeah.
almost like one of those,
That's true.
and somebody just put like their arm in it or something.
For me, the worst one. It's a tie of 2, and honestly, you said the pink on pink is great, not great. For me, it's not that one. It's the other one that looks very similar, but it's in green.
Austin's.
Austin's. Yeah.
Austin's.
The
It's
2
just
greens
boring.
clash so bad.
bad.
It looks so
Trash.
bad.
Yeah.
It really does. But honestly, on top of that one is RSLs, Real Salt Lakes.
Really?
So here's
The
thing.
checker.
Well,
I
I thought Columbus had the lockdown on checkerboard.
No, so I like the checker. The
Yeah.
thing I don't like is how horribly awful and hard it is to read the sponsor on the front because of the yellow. There's zero outline
yeah.
to it. There's nothing that like makes it stand out and pulls it away. So like it really does hurt the kit in the long run.
it makes it really hard because you're juxtaposing both things with your
Correct.
eyes. You're trying to
it's
read.
just
Yeah,
how do you
you're
see
trying
that?
to read the sponsor, but at the same time, the checkerboard is pushing through so much. Yeah, you're right. It's not that's not good at all.
It's a good kit with the exception of that, and it
Yeah.
really that just tanks it for me.
I mean, the two logos, the crest and the Adidas, they look great where they are.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
literally just that one sponsor.
If they literally
kills it.
outlined it in navy,
Mhm.
it would be probably
All they had to do was reverse the colors of the sponsor logo,
put it
like
in
where
red.
it's in the box. No,
Put it in red.
I'm
Put the
saying like
sponsor
that
red.
SE,
Put the blue
SE
in the
on the navy could be
white.
Yeah,
CT
I
in
can
the
see
white
that.
box could be navy. Yeah,
Or
hey, I'm not
just
a
keep
designer.
the yellow
but-
and then do navy and the white, like or
Austin,
red and the
I
white.
do want to kind of salvage the Austin kit a little bit, because I do. Again, I'm a storyteller. I'm into the stories, like, and I actually really like the story of that kit. The jock tag for me totally salvages that kit because the jock tag on it, with the beating bloody Mexican style heart that I just like. I mean, it may just be personal art taste for me, but like, if it didn't have that little detail, I'd probably feel the same way. But like, that little detail totally brings it up for me.
That's cool. I'm not taking away from that. It's just, again, it's kind of like what some people were saying about the Earthquakes kit. It's like, I understand what they were going for. They did not execute it well.
Yeah.
The two greens clash so bad. A Kelly green and a lime green do not belong together.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they really don't.
He
It's
had
just
those chops,
so
bro.
bad, man. It really
This
is.
guy has interior design chops. Look at this.
Hey, the pink on pink
Call
looks
him
good.
Pantone.
Like, it really does. I know it's like
Pantone Logan.
but they complement each other. It's like a bubblegum versus the Tickle Me Elmo pink in the crown box. I mean,
Very specific.
Hey, let's be honest. Crayola made that color for a reason, and it's apparently the
I didn't know
Miami
you
kit.
knew your pinks like that.
I mean, to be fair, I've got a 3-year-old, man. How do I not know all my colors? From
He
the
knows
crown box?
all. He knows all the colors. Alrighty.
All right, Austin, your honorable mentions since you wanted to get those out
Just
real fast.
quickly, I was just going to mention the Portland Timbers one.
Dude.
You know, talking about
So
that.
clean.
We got the age rings coming out from the crest of a tree that looks great, and then also LA Galaxies I thought was pretty clean.
Galaxies is
The
nice.
Lakers
I
kit.
really liked theirs.
Oh my god, I can't with the Galaxy one. I feel like I
many
feel like
people
it's some
don't
sort of
like
like
it.
how do I not like it? Number one, I don't know what a Ryzen is. Number two, it looks like some sort of you bought the Herbalife on the street from the guy, on Sunset Boulevard or something like that.
Really
and it
does look like a like
new-
it was a like knockoff kit.
Like I don't know. Y'all remember all that Galaxy wear that was such a thing? I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, where like everything was like this. That's what it
Sorry, Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks like that sort of like cheesy thing that's now trickled down to the Hot Topic version.
You know what it makes me think of, honestly? It makes me think that they really, really, really wanted to do what Minnesota did last year.
Yes, with the Northern Lights kit.
And they were like, well, we can't throw stars on it, so we'll just paint it and make it look like it's Galaxy. And I'm like, that it literally looks like somebody spray painted the LA kit and was trying to make it a Lakers kit. Like, tell me I'm wrong. It looks like they spray painted the purple onto it.
I want to say that one thing that Atlanta did, and I just went through because I wanted to be sure. I wanted to be sure I was right about this. Atlanta did one thing that nobody else did, and that's because every single one of these kits has that new sort of kind of cut that goes. That starts
the
at
Michigan,
the,
the 2007 Michigan cut.
Yeah, sort of the rib. It starts like right below the ribs and it goes down kind of on the front, right? Everybody else, almost everybody, kind of gave it its own color, right? Kind of used it as like an accent. Atlanta is the only one that just did piping. Like they outlined that shape in white and it gives it a different silhouette.
Is it white or is it gold?
It's gold.
It's gold.
Sorry, it's gold.
Yeah, I was
gold.
like, that looks clean and gold.
Excuse me, it's gold. And it's we're the only ones that did that. Everybody else made it its own block and it gives it a completely different silhouette from everybody else. And I just think that is one little choice design piece there. And everybody's got to do something to set itself apart. And not everybody did that. Because like I said, like the Montreal kit, it's us but in blue, and Austin is us but in green. So
Miami decided if they couldn't beat us, they'd dress like us but in pink.
Miami is us in pink.
A lot of the clubs are with the stripes. The the kits are going back to segueing us back to concerns. The kits are not a concern, at least for me. Ours is good.
No.
I think it could be bolder and different, but I'm good with it. My last
We'll see what they do
concern
with the third
is
kit.
the same concern I've had since July. I've talked about him a lot, fairly, unfairly. Alexei Moranchuk. He is a very different player than any number 10 we have ever had from from Miggy, from Barco, from PT. We have always needed, from oh my God, we just sold him, Tiago. Geez, my brain is just going.
Well, no, y'all sold him last May.
Yeah,
I think,
and I've already forgot him. And I've already forgotten him.
We have to. We
anyhow,
have to move on. That
Alexei just doesn't fit the mold of the people we've had in that
suppression,
position. He's very different, and everything hinges on him. It's MLS. You must hit on your DPs. If you do not hit on your DPs, you will not win a trophy. And I think
Nick Saban said it this last year early in College Game Day. He said, you can spend $20 million, but if you're not spending it on the right people,
correct.
it doesn't matter.
And we spent a lot on him, and it still, everything hinges on him, even with bringing Miggy back, even with Latte Lot here. It still hinges on Alexei. He has looked better in preseason. He's doing more defensive work too. And on paper, it should work out with him. He's one of those players that needs better players around him to be better. I just need to see a lot more out of him. Like in a DP, you need to, that's fine. You can say, hey, I'll be better when better players are here, but also DP's got to be game changers too. They just do. And we haven't seen that game-changing ability from him. But I'm going to choose that he's going to be great, and I'm going to eat that crow deliciously in September because it's all going to work out.
I'm going to have fun researching crow pie recipes.
Yes, it'll be delicious.
There you go.
All right, I think that about wraps it up with I think we were pretty balanced in terms of we're not maybe we are too high. I don't know. We're not too high, not too low. I think this should be pretty decent seasons for both of our clubs. Like the pathways are there, and we're going to take different pathways, but there are pathways for each of our clubs to do well and secure, top 5, top 4 spot in the playoffs. Like it should happen because, like I said, Cincy's going to struggle. I think Columbus is going to struggle. Some of these other teams who should lock up those spots, I don't think are going to be there, and we should be better.
I do think the 5 through 12 spots in the East, because of the way the East is shaking out this year, it's going to be a really interesting battle. It's going to be it was real interesting last year, and I think it's going to be just as interesting this year because we live in a world, we do live in a parity world and in a cap world, and it gives a lot of opportunity for one season changes in mobility, right? So you just never know. And then, both of us have talked about concerns with chemistry and what that's going to look like. And that's something that you can't analyze on paper. You can hope can happen for your team, but there's no guarantees. You look at some of these clubs, you look at Red Bulls and what they wound up doing without Forsberg on the pitch, right? Like they were very different. They were a very different club, and like their chemistry didn't kick in until later. But man, when it did, like, wow, who is this club?
Yeah,
because that's what Red Bull I remember.
Nashville.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you very much for listening and supporting both of these shows, both Mixtape, both Atlanta. I hope we've got a decent mix of listeners on this one.
Hey, our friends at Mixtape, where can we find you if we
please,
want
shout
more
yourselves out.
Fantastic content? If we want to come hang out with you in Nashville, where are you guys at?
Yeah, so you can find us on all of our socials at Mixtape615. Instagram, X, Facebook, all that. And then for all of our video content for our pod, you can find us on YouTube at Mixtape615 Pod. We are on all of your podcast listening areas. So we're on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, whatever you listen to your podcast, we are there. Exactly. Yeah. At Mixtape, or we're at Mixtape615. So you can just search us on any of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And as you guys know,
also, if you're in town, come to Lucky's 3-Star Bar.
Yes,
go to Lucky's 3-Star Bar.
And hit us up on hit us up on our personal Instas and everything. I'm at Mixtape Logan.
Don't hit me up. Don't hit me up.
Don't hit
him up at Young Turtle.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, don't hit me up on my personal.
Awesome. And we're 5 Takes on all the socials as well, including BlueSky now. We are over there as well. Nice. And you can always email us if you want at 5takesonthefivstripes@gmail.com. And as usual, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, do all those things to help
Share.
both of these shows out and help other people find them. All right, y'all, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for coming on and talking a little preseason footy with us. We're looking forward to Derby days.
We're in Atlanta early this year.
Oh, we're so excited.
Yeah,
Can't
let's
wait.
Y'all get to be
go.
outside in the middle of August with us.
Yay.
People can throw shade at us all they want for having an indoor stadium, but we do have shade.
I was going to
and
say, at
it
least
is
you have shade.
appreciated.
And air conditioning.
Air conditioning. It's a fabulous thing.
That.
All right, y'all. We will be back next week with our first 5 takes of the season episode after our opening match against the foot of Montreal.
Club
Just go back to the Impact, guys. Just go back to the Impact. All right. We appreciate y'all listening. We'll talk to you then.